Hello, hello, hello. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on these flower squares. You might be wondering why though. There's so many flower squares out there. And I'm only going to say I'm doing this because it goes along with one of my next tutorials, which is going to be a butterfly bucket hat. So this is a very specific square. And come on, it's cute. And I can also, at the end of this video, show you how to turn it into a mug rug if you want to do something like that with your squares. So if you're interested in doing a butterfly bucket hat next, I'm going to give you some sample hook sizes that you're going to want to use. So if you're going to be making a child size hat, you'll be using a 4.5 millimeter hook, which means your squares are going to be 5 inches wide. If you're making an average size hat, it'll be a 5 millimeter hook, which is what I'll be using today. And that's going to make your square 5.5 inches wide. And then lastly, if you're trying to make a large size hat, you're gonna want to use a 5.5 millimeter hook, which will be 6 inches wide. And don't worry, I'll put that in the description in case like I've got audio dyslexia, things go in one ear and out the other. Anyways, so for this, I'm gonna do 4 colors because I'm actually gonna put another round around. I frogged it for something else, I can't remember. But anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our center color. So I chose yellow for the center of the flower. And if I can find the end, because I have so many scraps, we're gonna go ahead, create your slip knot, and you're gonna chain 4, and then you're gonna slip stitch it to that first chain you made, or your 4th chain from the hook, which will create a ring. Easy peasy. And I only do this because I hate magic rings. They always come apart on me, like when I least want them to, and they're just difficult to save after that point. So from here, you're gonna chain 3, and that's gonna count as a double crochet. And you're gonna go ahead and double crochet 11 into your ring. And once you do that, we're gonna skip the chain 3 and you're gonna slip stitch into your next double crochet because it's gonna create an invisible stitch. And I'll show you in just a second once my slow butt gets going. 4, 5, 6. Oh no, see, even worse. I lost my count. 6, yeah. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, yeah. Get away. And 11. And then, like I said, once you have 11, so you're gonna have a total of 12 double crochets, including that chain 3. We're gonna skip over this chain 3 and slip stitch into our next double crochet. And as you can see, it kind of creates looks like a stitch, so that just makes an invisible stitch easier to keep track of. And you can go ahead and fasten that off. Okay, so for our next round, we're going to be doing treble cluster stitches, and that's going to create our flower petals. And don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. It's maybe look scary, but it's not. And so you'll attach your yarn to any double crochet, it doesn't matter. So just go ahead, any stitch, they're all the same. And to create your first petal, we're gonna go ahead and chain 3. And that's gonna be like the first leg of our petal. And to create our treble cluster, you're gonna yarn over twice like this, insert it into that same stitch, and you're gonna draw up a loop. You're gonna yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then you're going to repeat this, yarn over, draw through 2 loops. So now we have our second little leg of our petal, And then we're gonna repeat this same process again. So yarn over twice, insert it into the stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, yarn over again, draw through 2 loops, and now you should have 3 on your hook, and you're gonna yarn over and draw through all 3 of those loops. So that's gonna create your first petal. And then next we're gonna chain 2, and then we're gonna continue our petals. So again, this time we're gonna do the yarn over twice, stick it through the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, repeat that twice, and then we're gonna do this process 2 more times to create the 3 legs of our petal. So you should end before you draw through all the loops. You should have 4 loops on your hook, and then you'll yarn over and draw through all 4 of those loops to create your next petal. Again, chain 2, and then we're gonna repeat this process all the way around. And then I'll say this, once you get to the end, back to the beginning, you're gonna slip stitch into the chain 2 space and fasten off. So I'll do this one more time, and then I'm gonna pause it, and we'll come back when you are finished with round 2. Just like that, draw through all 4 loops, la 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 la, and then continue with the chain 2 petals all the way around. Okay, so now we should have completed round 2, and once again, if you didn't catch it the first time, when you do that last chain 2, you're gonna slip stitch into the next chain 2 space and not into the top of the petal, and then fasten off. So we'll go ahead with round 3 now if you're ready. All right, now that we finished round 2, we're gonna go ahead and start round 3, which is gonna start shaping our square. So any chain 2 space, doesn't matter. And we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna do a chain 3, which is gonna count as our first double crochet. And then in the same space, we're gonna do 2 double crochet, 1, 2, then we're gonna chain 2 and do 3 more double crochet into the same chain 2 space. So we'll go 1, 2, and lovely number 3. So this creates our first corner. And now in our next chain 2 space, we're gonna do 3 half double crochets. So in case you don't know what a half double crochet is, you're gonna yarn over once, insert it into your stitch or space, draw up a loop, and then you're gonna yarn over and draw through all 3 loops. So that's your half double crochet, and you're gonna make sure there's a total of 3 in this chain space, and then in the next chain space, you're also gonna do 3 half double crochets. So just to give you a look-see, you got a corner, then you have 2 chain 2 spaces with 3 half double crochet in each of them. And then we're gonna go ahead and make another corner in our next space. So it's gonna be 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So now we've officially created our first side. So again, you're gonna repeat this. You're gonna do 3 half double crochet in the next 2 chain 2 spaces, make a corner, then 3 half double crochet in the next 2 chain spaces, make a corner, and repeat that all the way around. And then when you get back to the beginning, you're gonna skip your chain 3 and slip stitch into your second double crochet to create an invisible stitch. Okay, so I'll pause for now and we'll come back when we finish. So just as a reminder again, when you come down back to the beginning, you're gonna skip that first chain 3 and you're gonna slip stitch into the second one. And then you can go ahead and fasten off with some scissors. Look, I barely won yarn chicken. This is a good day. So, now we've got our square starting to shape up. And from there, we'll go ahead and we'll do our last round. And that will create your first square for your butterfly bucket hat, if that's what you're interested in. And I'll also show after this next round, I'll show you this little bobble edging thing I do if you want to make cute little like coaster mug rugs for your coffees and teas. Because come on, like who doesn't need mug rugs for their coffees and teas? Or Red Bull if that's how you start your day. Like I won't judge. Not for me. But hey, everybody's got something. So now we're gonna go into round 4. Sorry, I had to get my yarn together. And we're gonna go ahead and you're gonna start in any chain 2 space corner. So it doesn't matter, pick a corner, any corner. You got 4 chances to get it right. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna chain 3, which is gonna count as a double crochet. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna double crochet the next 12 stitches across. So I'll do it once with you. 1, 2, 3. I hope you don't mind me counting. I'll lose my place otherwise. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, flung my yarn across the table and now it's dragging things back to me. That was not a great idea. So, if my math be right, you should have 12 across, not including that first double chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Woohoo! And then in your next chain 2 space, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Just like this. And then you're going to repeat this process around. You're going to do your 12 double crochet across, then double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in your corner space all the way around. And then you can go ahead and slip stitch it. Well, I'll show you how to. Okay, I paused because I wanted to show you that at the end of this round, when you get back to that initial chain 2 space, you're going to end with a double crochet. And then you're gonna chain 2 and slip stitch it to the top if you're making your square for your hat. If you're interested in trying to do a mug rug, you're gonna instead do a chain 1 and then single crochet to the top of your chain 3 because the single crochet will count as an extra chain. So that's only if you're trying to do a mug rug. Otherwise, you can end with the double crochet, chain 2, and then slip stitch to the top and fasten off. That's if you're making hat. So from here, I will continue to show you how I do the edging for the mug rugs. And so what I do is I chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then in the 3rd chain from your hook, we're going to create a cluster like bobble stitch. So you're going to yarn over, insert it into that 3rd chain, draw up a loop. You should have 3. And then you're going to yarn over, draw through 2 loops, and then repeat this process 2 more times. So yarn over, draw through 2 loops, yarn over, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops. You should have 4 loops remaining when you're finished, and then you're going to yarn over, draw through all 4 of those loops and then slip stitch it into that 3rd chain where your cluster is. So that slip stitch is gonna help give it some texture, make it more 3D and blue, 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 blue fun. And from here, we're gonna chain 2, and we're gonna turn our work. So now we're gonna be working on the back side. So make sure that the pretty side is facing away from you. You got the ugly side facing up. And we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna skip the first 2 double crochets, and we're gonna slip stitch into the 3rd one. So it's gonna look like this. And we slip stitch into the 3rd one, and then just to give you a little idea before we continue, that's what it's gonna look like. And it's gonna go all the way down. So again, I'll show you the bobble stitch, and then you're gonna just continue it to your other chain 2 space. So again, we're gonna chain 5. We're gonna yarn over, insert it into the 3rd chain, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, and then repeat this 2 more times. So again, you should have 4 loops on your hook remaining. You're gonna yarn over, draw through all 4, and then slip stitch into that 3rd chain to create your bobble. And then chain 2, and then again, we're gonna skip 2, go into our third, yes. Sorry, I was making sure I was mathing right. And you're gonna continue this process all the way to the next chain 2 space, where you'll end with your chain 2, and you'll just slip stitch it to the chain 2 space and fasten off. So I'll go ahead and pause, and I'll show you the end result. So again, we're gonna end with our chain 2, and then you're gonna slip stitch it into that chain 2 space. And now you can go ahead and fasten off. This is where it becomes your personal choice. You can put your bobbles all the way around the edges. I like to do just 2 sides, kind of make it look like a rug. So I'm gonna go ahead and fasten off, and then start on the other side, which will be the same exact thing that you did with this side, except this time you're just gonna start with the back side facing you. So that's the only difference when creating the other side of your bobble stitch, or bobble edging, I should say. The bobble edging. Okay, excuse me, I like to have fun. So again, you're gonna attach into chain 2 space, and you're gonna chain 5. Can I count? That's 4, 5. And then again, we're gonna create our bobbles. And remember, when you're slip stitching it to your round 4, that you're skipping 2 double crochets of round 4 and slip stitching. So there should be like, I'll show you here in a second. Like I said, you're gonna skip 1, 2, and then go into your 3rd one. So what I'm trying to explain is each of these bobbles should have 2 double crochets underneath them. So I had a total of 5 on this side. You should have a total of 5 on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and pause, and then we'll reveal the finished results. So the final reveal will look like this. This is also, if you chose to do mug rug. I hope this was easy to follow along. Please feel free to give me any comments, feedback. I'm here to absorb it like a sponge. This is, you know, this is a new year. I'm starting something new, and I'm gonna go up from here, eh?